Hello there, welcome back to Beauty Bee and welcome to a 2 looks 1 palette video using my Colourpop Play It Jewel palette. For those who have not seen this palette before, here is what it looks like. There's also a green and yellow shade that is currently pulled in my Panda's eyeshadows that I didn't bother to bring into either of these 2 looks. So for a quick overview of the video, first I will be doing a pink and purple look. That video, or that footage, is kind of a hot mess, so, just bear with me. The second look is the one I'm wearing today, and then I will give some brief thoughts about the quality of this palette at the end of the video. So, hope that sounds interesting. See you on the other side. I think that today I want to do something with some of the more like pink, purple, and maybe blue shades. I don't know, I'm so torn. This is one of those palettes that I look at and I'm just overwhelmed because I don't even feel like it's giving me any kind of direction. I feel like there's almost too many possibilities. But I feel like pink and purple kind of sticking to this area of the palette today would make some sense, and then maybe tomorrow I can maybe do something with this teal and this green and this yellow, because I don't want to do just neutral looks. I mean, obviously you can do very, very neutral looks, just cover up that part of the palette and you have every slightly warm toned neutral palette ever, basically. So where to even start? I think I'm going to, well, first I need to set down my eyeshadow primer, and I don't have a good shade to do that in this palette. I think that a lot of people would. I think if you are not even that much darker than me, that rocker might actually work quite well for people who have like light, medium, or deeper skin. But otherwise, that's really something that's just kind of missing from this palette, is a light lid setting shade and really a good highlight, unless you're going to use crystalline, which I find really does pull quite golden on me. You're kind of out of luck as far as highlights go. Anyway, so setting down my eyeshadow primer, that's always step 1.5. So now we can get to the eyeshadow, and now it's crunch time. I need to figure out what I'm doing. I think that today I want purple. So let's go in with Majesty, which is more of a blue purple as compared to Treasure Box, which has a little bit more pink to it. Majesty is also just a hair deeper, and I'm going to put that over probably the outer 2/3 of my lid. There's the pigment. I was kind of worried there for a second. It's like, I'm sure that I've used this shade before. I'm fairly sure it's showed up. It'll be messy at first, but it might get better. It might not get any tidier, but it'll get better, hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, so that's looking good. Now I always feel like there should be a brighter pink in here that's shimmery. Like, there's this pink shade, but then this actually pulls a little more red, though I think maybe on top of that purple. No, that's still gonna look real red. Yeah, that almost has an orange cast to it, if anything. So let's move to Treasure Box, which is the slightly more pinky purple. I'm going to layer that over the first shade, and then bring that almost all the way into my inner corner. Okay, next I'm going to go into Rare Earth, which is this almost peachy, light pink, not even light pink, it's light compared to everything else in here, but it's not actually what I would consider to be a light shade. I'm going to stick that in the inner corner. I just feel like this whole palette skews just a hair deep for what I really want to create a complete look. So then I'm going to keep using Rare Earth. I'm just going to pop that right in the center of my lid. I feel like that might provide a nice little bit of shine. Help to break up that purple, which is all kind of combining together. So because I've now dyed all of my fingers pretty much, I'm going to just use my color switch and rub them off on there. So next up, I feel like I need definition and I need a crease color, and I think once I have that, things will start looking a little bit more put together. So here I have a small crease brush. This is, I believe, the e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush. Imaginative naming on their part. And I'm going to go into the shade Geode Life, which is that pink. And put that up in my crease. I chose to use this small crease brush because I didn't know if I would need to use yet another shade to blend this into my skin tone. However, it's looking like this is going to work as is. I might want to add some color deeper into my crease though, because I feel like I just don't have the dimension going on that I want. Also, is it just my brain playing tricks on me, or is there just a bald spot right there on my eye? I don't know. I don't know about this look. Let's blend over that just a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to use, I think, Surreal, which is the matte purple. It looks almost black in my viewfinder. I don't know how it's actually going to come off on camera, but it is a darker, more cool toned purple. I'm going to put that in the very deepest part of my crease, and that's not helping matters. I really thought this look was going to be a home run, and it's really not turning out that way. My stomach is making noises. Lunch is immediately after this. No, I hate this. I don't know what I can do to even save this, really. No, I don't like it. I'm just taking that same shade, what's left on my brush, under my eye. I don't know how to fix this. This is not a great look for me. I think maybe let's go in with some of Luster, which is this more cool toned shimmer. Just put that really all over the lid. Okay, that is an impressive shade. It's not fixing all of my sins, but many of them, several of them. I like that a lot. Okay, we might be back on track. Yeah, I think we're back in business. Okay. Yeah, I can deal with this. I can work with this. This is good. Excellent. So now I have just a clean crease brush, and I'm going to go over all of my outer edges to soften those up. I've basically taken the color all the way up to my eyebrow. So I'm going to take some white, which unfortunately this palette doesn't have white, so I'm actually going to go into my Pan Those Eyeshadows palette right here. I'm going to take that white, and I'm going to just go under my brow and just cover up some of that purple that's gotten a little out of hand. I like that. This is working more or less. I feel like it's always a struggle for me to figure out when my eyes are open if things are going to be even. Because I don't really care if it looks even when my eyes are closed. Like, I don't, how often am I just hanging out with my eyes closed where people can see me? Not very. But let's see. I think I need to do a little bit of cleanup on this side. I'm going to be doing a swatch video later, so I don't feel bad about just cracking open a makeup wipe. I don't use them super often, but when I'm doing swatch videos, they are really, really convenient. So let's just get rid of a little bit of that. Just a hair on this side too. Actually, let's clean up under my brow. At least on the one side, the left side. Okay. I actually do really like where almost all of that is at. And now I think I'm going to give that just a second to dry down. Yeah, it's feeling pretty dry. And now, where'd the brush that had the purple on go? I'm going to fill that area back in just a little bit. Cool. So now I'm going to do some liquid liner. I'm going to disappear off camera to do this. I know I will. I don't intend to, but it'll happen. Okay, so I took that opportunity to additionally put on some mascara. I just put it on my top lashes because I don't want to be super crazy going to the grocery store today. So step one for the rest of the face is going to be some blush. This is the Colourpop Night Bloom blush. I love this. It's such a unique color. Do I have a... Don't know where my blush brushes went. It feels like I'm missing one or two. Have to go on the hunt for those. But I'm just going to put a little bit of that down on the apple of my cheeks. I'm still amazed by how just easy and not threatening this blush color actually turns out to be. I feel like it looks so scary in the pan. I mean, it's purple, but on the cheeks it looks, I mean, not natural, but it's not wild at all. So that's down, that's good. Now for my lips, I do want something in that pink purple family again. So should I have probably figured this out before I sat down to film? Possibly. But let's go with this Pat McGrath Executive Realness shade. This might actually be a little, that's a little bolder than what I want actually. Let's try this. This is from Colourpop. It's one of their Just a Tints. And I have, this is in the shade Chubby Bunny. That was a very old lady move with the tilt back to try to read the little print, but it's really small. Wow, that's a color. Not something I say super often, but I think I should tone that down by adding some purple. And I think maybe that's not the right color. I am struggling today. Oh my goodness. Am I struggling today? What am I doing? Okay, here's the color that I was actually looking for. This is Dead Roses from ABH. It's this kind of dead mauve-y rose shade. Okay. I've been staring at myself in the mirror for a minute or two, just trying to figure out if I like this or not. The lips, I like the eyes. The eyes turned out actually surprisingly well. We were in a dark place for a minute or two there, but I think the eyes are looking good. The lips, oh well, the lips aren't the point of this video. So here's the eye look. I will see you tomorrow, I think, or in 30 seconds for you for part 2. Bye. So this is day number 2. Hopefully this video, or this portion of the video, will be less of a hot mess than yesterday's was, but with how things are going so far, I don't have a lot of hope for that. Today, to go with my outfits, I want to stick with some of the yellows, but maybe pull in a little bit of blue and a little bit of green. I haven't fully figured out exactly what I want to do, which maybe I should do better about that and figure things out before I sit down to film, but is that gonna happen? Probably not. But I think what I want to start out with is this matte yellow, which is the shade Faceted. I'm taking that on a crease brush, a pretty small crease brush. I'm going to use that in the outer, or the inner half of my crease. I feel like that'll be a good way to set things up. I planned this outfit so that I could do like a yellow and green look, and then I spent half an hour looking for this headband in a cream shade. I know that I have it. I cannot find it in my house though. Like, I have no idea where it could have gone. I know that I've had it since I've lived here, so it's not like it got lost in the move. I haven't stayed anywhere like overnight since I moved in. I don't know where it could be, but anyway. Next I'm going to move to Carrots, which is the shade immediately next to it. Same brush, and I'm going to use that in the outer half of my crease. I tend to like having a little bit more definition in my crease than this kind of yellow shade can give me. And that is fitting the bill. Okay, just need a hint more on this side because they're just not even, and with that I think that we are good to move on to the lid, which means that now I have to actually figure out what I'm doing with my lid. Let's go with Optical, which is this very yellow gold. I'm going to put that over, let's say, the inner 2/3 of my lid. That's a really pretty shade. I kind of just want to use that all over the lid. Let's go for it. Why not? I knew that was a very yellow gold, but I'm surprised by just how yellow that pulls. I like that. I like that a lot. That makes me want to skip out on the blue shades today and instead stick with the really warm shades that are more on this side of the palette. So let's go in with a little bit of Relic, which is this like penny copper shade. I'm going to put that in my outer corner pretty lightly. I might deepen up that outer corner a little bit further, but for right now, I think that's pretty. I like how there's a gradient both in the shimmer shades and in the crease shades from inner to outer, from this yellow to an orange. That's doing it for me. And I want to get out a detail brush, and I'm going to go into Reflection, which is this champagne gold. I'm going to use that in my inner corner. I might need to wet that. That's not... Oh, okay. On second application, it is a little more poppy. Okay, I'm liking that a lot. And now let's go with Peace Out, which is this very reddish, orangey brown. I'm going to take that on my lower lash line. And because we're already here, I'm also going to take a bit more of that and further deepen up that outer corner. Okay, I'm liking where that is at a lot. I think I'm going to bring in that green that I kept promising with some eyeliner. So let me find my green eyeliner. This is an olive from Beauty for Real, and it is in the shade Olive. You know, we love a creative name. I'm just going to put that in my waterline for right now. yeah, I could use that on my upper lash line as well. Other side. So that is looking good. Now for some mascara. Funny how that works. Next up, I'm going to do my lips. I'm going to be using this vintage lip liner. Just defining my lip line a little bit. I don't know why I always feel the need to start talking and then put on my lip product. That's not functional. Okay. And now I'm going to fill in my lips with this Jason Wu Honey Fluff lipstick. This is in the shade Royal. So that I think is looking good. Now for the face, I think I'm going to go in first with some of my Wet n Wild blush. This is in my project pan for the year, and I'm making progress, and I want to be making more progress. It's like, now that I can see so much pan, there is a fire lit beneath me, and I want it gone. I want to finish this thing. Okay, so that's looking nice. Next up, I'm going to be going into my Bombina palette. There are two shades that I want to be using in here. First, we have Bronzilla, which is the matte bronzer. Well, the bronzer, at least for my skin tone. I guess some people could probably use this mail order shade, but not me. That's looking kind of dirty on camera. In person, it looks fine. That's very strange. I'm gonna go with my big powder brush. Kind of go over all of that. Okay. That's a little bit better. Still not sure what's causing that. And then I'm going to tie together all of this yellow on my face with some of Let's Bolt, which is this very yellowy highlight. I'm taking that not just on my cheekbone, but up on my brow bone as well. And I think that is looking good. So there are my two looks using my Play It Jewel palette. Obviously, I've just scratched the surface of what this could give me. I mean, I didn't touch the greens or the blues at all in this video. There are quite a few more reddish shades, some peachy shades that I didn't touch. I think I might have to revisit this a few times on my channel, maybe do some palette bingos or something with it. But the way I've been using this in the couple of months that I've owned it is largely pulling just a few shades into smaller palettes and then using those. I find that that's a little bit more approachable for me than looking at this giant, essentially 16 pan rainbow palette plus neutral options. and trying to figure out what to do, I find this to be just a little bit overwhelming. So I've really been enjoying the quality of this palette. I think that the quality is quite nice. I don't think that the shade selection is 100% up my alley, which makes sense. I'm not a huge jewel tone person, and as the name would suggest, this is very jewel toned. This is something that I did want in order to round out my collection. There are times where I want this kind of a jewel tone green or blue or purple, and I didn't have those, and this was a cost-effective way of adding those shades to my collection. And for that, I think that this is a really, really lovely palette. I'm happy with the quality, and I'm excited to continue to get really good use out of it. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did. And if you have any suggestions for which of my palettes you'd like to see a video focused on next, I would be very interested in hearing that. Thanks again, and I hope I'll see you all next time. Bye!